The FBI is apparently tracking me down because I'm taking an absolute steamer on someone's doorstep and they gotta figure out who's been doing it. Well, shocker, but it's been me. Now, in all seriousness, what we're going to be talking about today is the FBI has apparently been tracking people down through Roblox, and from what I've kind of gathered here, this is a absolute W. At first, when I saw this article, I'm like, what wacky thing did somebody got or get flagged for? What tycoon were they playing? Were they running like bank robber tycoon, and they said they were coming up with plans to rob a bank? I figured that maybe it was something like that and it was just something wacky and they were mistaken. But after going through the article, it seems like this was a genuine thing that was actually going on. That they ended up basically finding a guy that was going to try to do some malicious things out of Texas, essentially. So we're going to get into that article here today as it's just a wacky thing to really look at. So, FBI tracks down man suspected of plotting major crimes via chats on Roblox. The FBI tracked a man to his home in Texas after they suspected him of making threats in Roblox to commit real world crime. And basically, what this guy did was I don't know what he was playing or anything like that. They don't really go into that in this article, but he was basically playing the game, and for some reason in the game, he started coming up with a devious plot, I guess you could say, to cause harm to a lot of individuals in America. And this got flagged by the FBI, which they basically contacted Roblox, got his credit card information, which allowed them to track this man down and question him and figure out if it was true or not. Because I think how the FBI probably gets flagged for a lot of things is based off of word pings, if I had to guess, right? So if there's stuff that pops up, I mean, FBI, if that pops up, anything with a tear, right? Anything with, making some stuff you shouldn't be, going and getting some ingredients from Home Depot, maybe little Timothy shouldn't be getting his hands on. Uh, I think that type of stuff automatically gives them kind of a ping, if I would have to assume. If not, update your system. I don't know what to tell you, FBI, but that's kind of crazy if you don't get pings. But basically, they go to his house and they start asking this guy, and apparently, a family member put a keylogger onto his keyboard to basically see what this guy was doing, right? Which is kind of crazy because what that means to me is his family members knew about this, right? That means that his family members, like this guy is probably the crazy uncle that every single Thanksgiving is ranting about how bad the government is and how bad his entire life is. And he's probably like 400 shots deep, so no one ever really takes him seriously. But apparently one of his family members started to take him a little bit seriously, and because of that, they ended up finding evidence basically on his iPhone, his computer, and on his Roblox chat logs that he was planning to do a little bit of crazy stuff and basically flee the country, and he was trying to like figure out how to prevent leaving any DNA and fingerprints behind, which is just a absolutely crazy thing to search, by the way. In searching Berger's iPhone, they discovered explaining how to prevent DNA fingerprints, searching for pew pews and ammo, right? And phrases and like festivals happening near him. Like, bro, that's crazy. I would never imagine like going on my phone and typing in, how do I get rid of fingerprints? Like, whoa, that's instantly getting flagged. Like, in a million years, that's getting flagged. Now, if his search was just like, oh, where to get pew pews and ammo, he lives in Texas. I think that's a fair search. I would probably assume that might be one of the top 10 searches in Texas as of the current time. But when it's how to get rid of fingerprints, how to get pew pews and ammunition, where are popular places near me where events are taking place, you're diving into the deep end a little bit. And then it kind of questions, like, begs the question, who is he talking to about this, right? Who is he pulling up in Roblox and being like, yeah, man, I'm really thinking about doing some crazy stuff here soon. I looked up how to get rid of my fingerprints yesterday. Like, are they going to track that guy down too? I hope they do, because unless that guy reported him, obviously, then I think that'd be a different scenario. But like, you're not just randomly typing this into a Roblox chat. This is like you're sitting there and you're playing with some random, other 40-year-old man who's playing Builder Tycoon with you. And in exchange, you're telling him your nefarious plans, and he's probably like hyping you up or something like that. So maybe they need to do a little bit of a deeper investigation into this, just maybe, because I just don't imagine, me pulling up my keyboard and being like, oh, how to get rid of my fingerprints, like on Roblox, Like, it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So I'm very curious to see where this investigation goes, but yeah, I thought this was just some wacky that was going on. But with all this being said, if you play Roblox or you have a cousin or a son or a daughter or whatever, a kid who plays Roblox, be careful. There is some absolute wacky people out there on Roblox, from people that will show up at your address. I mean, I think everybody's seen some of those videos where, people will be like, yeah, your son gave me his address, to like a full grown man, or stuff like this, where you apparently have people trying to create acts of terror through Roblox, and yeah, you will get pinged by the FBI and you will get got. So that's all I really wanted to rant about today, though, was just the wackiness of Roblox. So let me know what you guys think. Hope you enjoyed and have a wonderful night. Peace.